Good morning. Why don't you guys go ahead and stretch out on your mats and be comfortable. Lengthen yourself out and take up all the room to begin your practice today. And take some deep and full breath, drawing the breath in through the nose, releasing it audibly through your mouth, and drawing in that cool wave of breath. And as you exhale audibly, allowing it to brush against this beach of your body, and allow yourself to observe this breathing landscape of your body as you rest in and down to the earth. Let your palms turn down, fingers touching the floor. And as you take a few more slow and deep breaths, let yourself acknowledge what is supporting you in your practice today. This earth, this place, these wooden floors, this land, and the long stewardship that you link yourself to through your self-care, through your practice. Take a few more breaths to draw in acknowledgement of what is bringing you here today. What are you practicing for? Draw your knees up. Let them rest into each other. And spread your feet about mat width apart. And with an exhale, brush your right knee down toward your left ankle. With the inhalation, lift the knees apart. And as you exhale, brush the left knee down to the right ankle. Feeling the temperature and texture of your breath, continue to gently move your legs like windshield wipers. From your flexed toes radiating all the way up through the knee and the hip. And feeling that breath with each exhalation, lengthening your side bodies from outer ribs and armpit all the way down to the knee and the toes. Taking one more this way. And step your feet and your hips to the right side of your mat. As you exhale, brush your knees down to the right and let your gaze roll to the left, looking toward your left hand. Feel your sides lengthen and soften with your breath, just noticing your porousness through your skin and any tension you might be holding. Can you soften and let this breath move against the body like the waves against the shore? As you inhale, lift your knees, walk them down to the left. With your right fingertips touching the floor overhead, gently trace a half circle toward your left hand, reaching your right palm past your left fingertips and stretching into your right arm and the space between your shoulder blades. As you inhale, retrace that circle back overhead, right fingertips drawing a half circle all the way to the right, and then let your face and your gaze roll in that direction. Once more, inhale, stretching the right arm overhead, over the left hand, reaching past it. And then with an inhalation, retracing that path all the way open, rolling your shoulders down to the floor, your gaze to the right. Lift the knees up and release them down to the right. And turn your gaze to the left. Like opening a new book, this new day, breathe into this space. With an inhalation, draw half circle with the left fingertips overhead, reaching past your right fingertips, opening that space between your shoulder blades. And retracing that half circle all the way open to the left, looking toward your left hand. And once more, back again, overhead into the right. And pressing into your hand. Lift yourself up onto your right elbow. Draw your hips to the back of your mat and your legs to the front. Stacking your hips and flexing your feet to align your hips. As you inhale, lift your right leg up, or it's going to be your upper leg up, and draw some circles backward, flexing through and leading with your heel. Can you connect this action to your breath? Are you inhaling forward and upward, exhaling back and down, or maybe it's one full breath for each circle? Complete inhale and a complete exhale. And taking two more just like that and feeling the weight, the waking up action of the legs. And let's reverse it now. You can use your hand in front of you for steadiness, or for a little bit more of a challenge, you can place it up on your hip. Just taking two more circles. And then as you exhale, take that upper leg forward. Bring both hands behind your head, interlacing. And as you inhale, just roll your gaze open to the sky, resting your head into your hands. Now with your exhalation, you take your right leg back and looking down, turn your torso toward the floor, but your face is floating. Exhaling forward and inhaling, opening, looking up. Exhaling back, rocking the upper chest toward the floor, both elbows pointing down. And reversing. So connecting your breath through this action. You're rocking on your side body, leg back and forward, opening your chest to the sky. Let's take 4 more of these. Just feeling into the balance along your side body. And this big rinsing and squeezing action as you rock from side to side, opening up the fascia from toe to elbow. And one more, all the way, leg forward, shoulders back. And then bring yourself back to a stack and roll through to the other side. So once more, we're resting on the elbow, stacking the legs. And this time, see if you can pull your waist up and away from the floor so you're pulling even more into your core. a sensation of like gripping paper between your inner feet all the way up through your legs. And then let's hover the upper leg and begin to draw some circles back. So you can challenge yourself by keeping the waist away from the floor. So you're pulling even more into your core. That's a little bit more tipping. Let's take a few more circles, slowing it down and really reaching in for that sense of engagement, that squeezing in sensation, all the way up the leg, all the way down through the rib cage. And then we'll just reverse it. Nice and slow circles. Working the resting hinges. And take 3. Now is your breath connecting to this action. 2 and 1. And then we're going to exhale the leg forward. Open the chest up to the sky. Inhale the leg back, rocking on that lower elbow, looking toward the floor. Hands will stay behind the head to support its weight. Exhaling forward, roll the shoulders back, and you take them toward the floor. And inhaling back. Really stretching into and lengthening this fascia that is like the bag within which our muscles are endlessly long, but sometimes very contained and stiffened due to lack of movement, injury, or aging. We're just bringing back that breath of life and rejuvenation for just a couple more rounds. Beautiful. And bringing the legs together and rolling onto your belly. Take a moment to rock from side to side. We're going to come all the way onto the right side of the body, resting into the right hand, stacking the legs, and then roll, kind of pour your weight down into the floor and rock to the other side. So instead of being tense about it, think about it like you're softening a lump of dough with a rolling pin. You are the dough and the rolling pin as you roll through onto the belly. And soften that fascia that runs along the front of the hips and holds the thighs and the quads. And allow a little twist into your spine as your heart moves forward and the upper leg slightly back behind the lower leg. Just take about 4 more rolls, rocking through the belly, opening the inner shoulder. And 2 and 1. And onto the belly. Let's stack the hands right underneath the forehead. And as you inhale, feel the belly expand into the floor. A little cushion of your breath there. As you exhale, feel the belly pull in. You are exaggerating that exhalation to draw the belly button away from the floor. So inhale, there's a stretch and a sense of relaxation as the belly widens. And then exhale, a pulling up and in action as the navel pulls toward the spine, and a firming action down through your tail. From here, pick up your knees. Inhale, and as you exhale, pick up your toes, floating both legs about mat width above the floor. Now add your hands beneath your shoulders. With your inhalation, float the hands as well, so everything is hovering above the floor. And then with your exhalation, take your hands forward, reaching nice and long. Take another breath here. You're floating your hands and feet. Everything is staying above the floor. With the exhalation, widen your palms, widen your legs. Everything is hovering, mat width apart. Inhale, hands together, and exhale, moving apart. So we'll take 10 more breaths like this. Nice, big breaths like a frog, just swimming of your belly, but keeping the navel drawn in. Nice big breaths. Let yourself hear them. 5, 4. The breath can move into the nose and out through the mouth. 3, 2, and last 1. Beautiful. Lower your hands beneath your shoulders, knees nice and wide. And with your exhalation, pull your belly back. Rock into child's pose, lowering your forehead to the floor. Resting down into your forehead, releasing into the weight of your elbows. Just scanning your body to notice what you're bringing to your practice today. The poet Mark Nepo writes, before fixing what you're looking at, check what you're looking through. On a beautiful sun-filled day, he writes, I drove 300 miles to see my grandmother. She was 94 and had been in one room for close to 8 months. Her firstborn grandson, I sat next to her, so happy to see her. But as we sat in silence on the edge of her bed, she complained how gray a day it was. And I realized that her window hadn't been cleaned in a year. And when I said this, she chuckled in her Russian accent. Got a dirty eye? See a dirty world. And so it is with our minds and hearts. For our very self is the window, the one window we have to this life. So often we suffer the moods of a dirty window, believing the world to be gray. But perhaps our inner work is the ordinary art of window washing. So that day is fully the day. As you rest into the weight of your body, feeling your centeredness, use your breath to wash ideas from your mind. As you breathe, wash the film from your heart. And notice that the deeper you breathe, you can wash the conclusions from your eyes as well. With an inhalation, extend your left arm perpendicular to your spine. And as you exhale, lifting your head, just gently crab walk your right fingers toward your left hand and rest into your forehead, allowing your right hand to stop wherever you feel a productive stretch. So you're not overstretching. You're just bringing yourself a little farther past center for one more breath. And then gently walk back to center, arms aligned with the spine, and then send your right arm perpendicular. And with your exhalation, walk those left fingertips toward your right hand. For one more breath. And gently come back to center, pressing into the floor, walking your hands underneath your shoulders and coming into your cat shape. As you inhale, press palms into the floor, looking forward. Cow shape. Exhaling cat, pulling the belly up to the sky, hollowing the armpits. And inhaling cow. Allow yourself to lower all the way down with exhalation, bringing your chin to the floor. And then send your legs back, squeezing them together for a moment and lowering yourself completely down into the floor, toes resting, fingers wide, elbows against your sides. As you inhale, just a tiny lift in the spine. Take a moment to turn your wrists, breathing here, softening your gaze. And exhale, push over your tucked toes, modified child's pose, lengthening out your back, like you're window washing with your breath. Exhale up to your cat shape. Inhale, cow. Exhale down between your elbows to your chin. Inhale, lengthen the legs long, lowering your hips. Exhaling there, nesting the hips into the floor. Inhale, a little baby cobra. Looking left, looking right. Exhale, over tuck toes, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Come all the way down onto the chin. Inhale, low board, holding yourself up for just a moment and exhaling there. Inhale, cobra, lifting the heart. A nice bend in the elbows. You can feel them against your sides. Exhale, child's pose with the toes tucked under so you can open your feet. And just reach back there for a moment. Press the sole of the foot in toward the bones. And as you glide your fingers down, widen the toes apart. And try both sides. With your exhalation, rising into your cat shape. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling down to the chin. Inhale, legs lift, knees squeeze together. Exhale down onto the belly, toes back. Inhale, cobra. One more round. Exhale, modified child's pose. Coming up to your cat. Exhaling down through your cow to your chin. Lifting your knees up, squeezing them in. Inhaling, little cobra. And exhaling back, child's pose. Rising up to your cat. Inhaling, cow. Now let's take a block and place it between the knees. You can use this block at about 6 inches apart. So it's centered right between your knees. And with your exhalation, I just want you to pick up that block and give it a little squeeze. Feel how your belly engages, a kind of cat shape moving into your low back. But can you simultaneously make a cow shape in the upper body, offering your heart forward? Exhale down. Inhale, nice cow. Exhale, cat in the low back and lift up. Imagine that block between your legs and draw it back toward the wall behind you. So you feel it pressing. It's just above your knees or maybe a little bit higher, but I want you to draw that block back into the space behind you, creating an inner rotation in your thighs. Send your palms and fingers into the floor, clawing a little bit. Just look right and left. Can you drop your elbows down a tiny bit? Squeezing that block is helping you to deepen that inner spiral so that your tail can pop up and back. Now let your head drop down. Drop the back of your head, lengthen the back of your neck. Just taking a couple more breaths here. Strengthening and lengthening your downward dog. Beautiful. And then gently release your knees down. Inhale, cow. Now let's turn crossways to your mat. You still got that darn block between your knees. And at one end of the mat, all I invite you to do is pick up that block and give it a squeeze. Hang on to that block and walk to the other end of your mat. Your core is completely engaged. Release the knees down. Take a little cow shape looking up. And then a cat shape. Squeeze the block, lift, walk down to the front end of your mat. Hang on to that block. Go all the way back to the back end of the mat. Good. And release down. So as we come back to the front end of the mat, just really want you to pay most attention to what's happening in your core, because that's what we want in our downward dog. So pull the block up. Do you feel your lower ribs knit and your belly button back? Hang on to that sensation as you come all the way back and turn yourself to create your downward dog. Release down. Get your other block. So now you'll have two. We're going to use the blocks under the hands and the memory of the block between the knees to have a nice, strong dog. So go ahead, come into it. We'll do a cat.
or a cow first, relax the belly. And then a cat, you can imagine that block, lift it up, drop back, imagine the inner spiral in your legs, so that block would be popping back behind you. Drop your head down. Feel the lower ribs knit inward, the belly button back. Lengthen the back of the neck. Draw the elbows toward your ears, toward the floor. And allow yourself any little shimmies side to side, a wagging in the heels, a wagging in the hips. Make friends with this dog. And then, like I'm pulling your tail, find a cat shape to slowly ripple forward over your wrist. And inhale, look up. Squeezing that block, that imaginary block between your thighs. Exhale and ripple back. We'll do 10 of those, slowly coming forward. And if your wrists are giving out, you can come down to the floor on your elbows. Exhale back. Find the block, squeeze it as you ripple forward. It helps you engage your core. And keep imagining that block as you come back to hold the inner spiral in your legs, so that your tail and the space around it and your low back can lengthen. Rippling forward, a squeezing action in your thighs, looking up and squeezing as you come back. Just taking a couple more of these. Deep core engagement. And back. Once more to the front of your mat, hovering there. Now hover your right leg. Tap the back of your left heel and step it down. Hover your left leg. Tap the back of your right heel and step it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward dog. Give yourself 5 breaths here. How can you adjust your hands so that you can ease your wrists? I like to work the base of my palm right toward the front edge of the block and send the fingers long, lengthening them, thumbs on the inside wrapping, pinkies and ring finger on the outside gripping, lengthening out the angle of the wrist where it meets the block. Now looking back behind you, hover your right leg, and with the whole leg, like it's a protractor, draw a circle the size of a basketball on the wall behind you. Excellent. And now lift that right toe even higher, and we're going to draw a little line with the toe as if we had a pencil between our toes on the wall upwards for 10, 9, squeezing into your right butt cheek, lifting, 7, keep lifting, engaging that right butt cheek, a little squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there, squeezing, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then very slowly draw that right knee in toward your navel and hover, shoulders over wrists. Gently, so you're using your core, step your right foot inside the block and circle the left heel down. Excellent. Now let's move that left block forward and just release that left wrist and arm. So we're looking down with a little cat shape in the back, the belly pulling up and away from the right thigh. As you inhale, lift that left arm along your ear, nice and long, and stretch, lengthening from your fingertip all the way back to your toe. Exhale, make a cat shape, relax the arm. Inhale, lengthen it long, roll your chest open to the sky. The pinky side of your lifted arm is rolling toward the earth, opening up that long line. And one more time, release the arm, just shake out the shoulder, loosening in. Make sure your right knee is moving outward toward your right elbow. And then inhale and lengthen the lifted arm along your cheek. Beautiful. Now stamp into that right foot, that forward foot, quite a bit. And can you draw yourself up off of your hand back to warrior two? Beautiful. So what we're going to do is a flow where we exhale down to the block. Inhale here. Exhale, draw up and back. And inhale here. Exhale down onto the block. And inhale here. Exhale, pull up and back. And inhale here. 2 more times. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale and rise. And inhale 1 more time. Working that buttock. Inhaling here. And exhale, rise. And inhale here. Now let's reverse it. Left hand to the back of the left thigh, reaching up, right arm overhead. With the exhalation, right hand reaches to left toe, left arm overhead. Inhale back, flowing through Vira 2 to humble warrior, the left hand lowers. Inhale, flow through side angle, hovering both arms. Reversing, humble warrior. And inhale, lengthening. Exhale, squeeze. 1 more time. Humble warrior. And side angle, squeeze. Inhale, draw back to Vira 2 and straighten both legs for your humble warrior. Reach up and back. Now lower your right arm parallel to the floor, left hand at your hip. You're going to push the hip into your hand as you extend, and then push with your hand into your hip as you lift straight back up again. Imagine your legs like scissors cutting toward each other, creating stability. Exhale, push hand into hip. Inhale, push hip into hand. Exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, hip into hand, hovering. Turn the palm up toward the sky. And can you take the upper arm overhead and like you're holding a basketball there, pull everything in and find a squeezing action in your legs, belly pulling back. Excellent. Now lower your lower hand to the block. You can adjust it to whatever height feels best there. Your extended triangle for a few breaths. The legs still squeezing down, supporting you. Roll your gaze open to the sky. And then see if you can keep that shape in your chest as you release your head toward the earth. Bend deeply into the right knee. Lower your hands to frame the right foot. We're going to remove the blocks, lifting the left heel up from the floor. And now just float the right leg back by the left. Squeeze it in. There's been a lot of stretching in that hip. Reconsolidate things by hovering that leg. Then set the right toe down, walking the feet in place. Left toe to right heel, 10. Right toe to left, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Imagine you have a block between your thighs. Lift up and back. Downward dog. The thighs are drawing into an inner rotation. It feels like your tail can pop up to the sky. A blossoming action in your butt. From here, lift your left leg up and straight back. Using the whole leg, draw a little circle on the wall behind you. Now that whole leg is like a protractor and it's going to draw a straight line straight up to the ceiling. At its highest point, we're going to pulse upward for 10, 9, 8, a little squeeze in your buttocks each time you lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw that knee into your chest and hover it there, belly pulling back. Silently step forward. Left hand is on a block. Release the right arm and just let it swing, loosening that shoulder, your chin drawing in, the belly pulling back, making a little bit of a cat shape. And now with your inhalation, lengthen your arm along your ear, roll your chest open to the sky. As you exhale, belly back, relax that arm. So you have that cat shape here. And with the inhalation, as your arm comes along your cheek, feel that cow shape in your spine, moving forward with the heart, hips and shoulders moving back. Exhale, release back, a rounding in the spine. Soften shoulder. Inhale, reach up and back. That cow shape in your spine. Now press into both feet, lift your belly up, and gently draw the upper arm back. Vera 2. Beautiful. So flowing from Vera 2 to side angle, sending the right arm overhead. Exhale, up and back for 3. Exhale, up and back. Inhale, coming down gently. Keep that left knee moving out to the left. Exhale, use your core, up and back. Now reverse. Left arm up, right hand back. Exhale, left hand reaches to right ankle, right arm overhead. Inhale, the windmill, left arm up, right hand back, humble warrior. Exhale, draw the hips back, squeeze, side angle. For 3 more, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, side angle, squeeze. And 2. Exhale, squeeze. And 1. Squeeze it. Beautiful. Now we're going to make our way all the way up to humble warrior, straighten both legs. From here, take your right hand against the right hip and push into it as you extend halfway forward, like you're extending your torso along a table. From here, take your right arm overhead and imagine you're squeezing a little beach ball. Pull your belly back. Back to your hip, humble warrior, straight legs, hip into hand, exhale and extend. Hand into hip, lift up. That action of pushing your hand into your hip helps you find a tiny back bend to open that left side body. But as you push your hip into hand, extending forward, you feel your hamstring. So we're working this rusty gait. One more time, hand into hip, reaching up, open that left side body. Exhale, hip pushes into hand. Reach overhead to find that basketball and squeeze it. Pull your belly back and then lower your lower hand to the block. You can have it on its highest height if that feels good, or lower if that's available. Roll your chest open to the sky. Just taking a couple more breaths. What feels good? Can you keep the chest open and let the gaze roll down to release the neck? Can you turn your inner arm and armpit to face forward? Beautiful. Now bend deeply into your left knee. Lower your right hand, removing the block to frame the left foot, and float that left leg back. Tap it to the back of the right toe, 10. Right toe to left heel, 9. Walking it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. 5 breaths. Reach deeply through your fingers. Use your blocks if you'd like to. Come into child's pose if you need to. This is your time. What's your body calling for? Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Let your skin drape along the structure of your body, porous. and open, receiving the breath like a sponge. And then gently release your knees down, setting the tops of your feet on the floor. Draw your elbows into your sides as you ease yourself all the way down onto your chin. Pick up your knees, squeeze, set the hips down. Inhale, cobra pose. Nice, juicy cobra. Exhale back. Child's pose, rest into your forehead. 5 breaths. Each breath washing the window of your mind. Like clouds moving in water. Problems make me forget that I am clear. That is your essential nature. Clear and pure. Once more, rise into your cat shape. Inhale, cow. Exhale, downward dog. Draw your left leg up and back. Exhale, pull it into your chest. Step your left foot inside your left hand. Find your block again and placing it 1 foot ahead of your left foot. Bring your right hand to your hip. All we're going to try and do from here is come up onto the left foot and balance, keeping a bend in the left knee, a little micro bend, so that we can tap the right toe down and then press into the left leg, strengthen it, and lift up. Exhale, tap down, making sure that block's right under your shoulder. You might need to adjust it. Exhale and lift up. Let's just try that a couple more times. From the floor, lifting up. From the floor, lifting up. Beautiful. Finding a focal point on the floor beneath you. Can you widen it out to the side so that you're rolling your chest open a little bit and opening the arch of your foot, your lifted leg, toward the floor. Place a micro bend in your standing leg. It's going to make your muscles work more, maybe shake a little bit, but that's okay. Just allow your knee to be unlocked and strong. Maybe you can take your upper arm up to the sky, reaching there, opening into half moon pose. Beautiful. With your exhalation, take that right toe back to the floor. Lower your hands and step your feet together. Release your knees down, toes up. And all we're going to do is 2 push-ups. Inhaling down, elbows meet the rib cage. Exhale, push back up. Of course, you have the option to do it with straight legs. Inhale down, nice and slow. Exhale, all the way back up, downward dog. And of course, we'll try the other side this time. Taking the right leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, draw it into your chest and gently step it forward inside your right hand. Now take your block in the upper right corner of your mat, left hand at your hip. And all we're going to try and do is come up onto the right foot and brush that left leg long. And then step it back. Trying to keep that micro bend in the right leg. Even though it looks almost straight, we can check our springs and know we're using our muscles to support our weight, not locking out at the knee. So one more time, strengthening that standing leg, and then coming on up, flex your toes on the lifted leg quite a bit, like you're trying to reach out and grab something with your whole foot. Feel the air between your toes. Open your gaze to the left, and then see if you can't lift your arm, still flexing your lifted leg a lot, like you're trying to push a door shut with that foot. It really helps you pull into your core. For one more breath, checking that you're not locking out with your standing knee. Beautiful. And then gently step back and down, remove the blocks, hands beneath the shoulders, legs together, knees down. 4 push-ups. Inhale as elbows meet rib cage. Exhale, press up. Inhale down and exhale up for 3 and 4. Child's pose. Turn the wrists, turn the palms so they face up, and spread the fingers out like you're trying to take all your fingernails back to the floor, lengthening out your wrists, stretching through your thumbs. Allow each breath to wipe clear the chalkboard of your mind. Not condemning yourself or the distractions and the thoughts that might draw you away from your practice, but just embracing the opportunity of coming back, that discipline, circling back in to the breath, to this moment. And then gently walk your hands all the way in and take your feet forward. Take your fists down beneath your shoulders, your legs, in front of your hips. And with your inhalation, lift your heart a lot. Press down into the feet. And with your exhalation, can you lift your butt up off the floor? Inhale, lower down, take the arms forward and just try to float your feet for a moment, buttoning your belly back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, press up and look toward the ceiling, squeezing your elbows together, hovering your hips up. Exhale, come back down to the floor, onto your sit bones. Inhale, take another breath, feet floating, buttoning your belly back. You're climbing into a little boat. Feet down, press, exhale, lift. Take another breath here, looking up to the ceiling. You're drawing your butt cheeks a little bit tighter. Your elbows are squeezing together as you look up. And then with your exhalation, come on down. Float your hands and your feet up. Take 2 breaths just in your boat here. Beautiful. So we'll try to come up one more time. It could be 2 or 3 breaths, whatever feels available to you. You can be on your palms or your fists, whatever feels better for you. And with your exhalation, come on up. Nice flat table across the front of your body. This action of squeezing muscle toward bone, especially in the arms, really good for your lymph glands. And when you're ready, come on down to your butt. Float your feet. Beautiful. And now we're just going to imagine that we're in a boat, sending our feet toward the end of the boat and taking your arms wide. As you exhale, bring your hands in along your sides. Inhale and exhale, creating a little C curve in the low back, but lifting the heart for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release your feet down and swish them to the right. Take your right hand to hold the right ankle and sitting nice and tall, reach the left arm straight up to the sky. So you're just trying to lengthen this line of the left side body really long. Beautiful. Lifting the rib cage off the hip, letting some light there into the side body. And then as you exhale, we're going to come all the way down onto the elbow. Bring the legs together, stack them. And with your inhalation, lift your heart. With your exhalation, squeeze the legs together, pick your hips up off the floor. Holding them up there, reach your right arm to the sky. As you inhale, come down onto your left hip. And as you exhale, come up, squeezing the legs together. For 5, exhale, lift and squeeze. 4, lowering to the floor. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale down and exhale up. For 2 and 1. Squeezing a lot and release down. Reach right hand to right ankle again. Come all the way up with that left arm and take a little side bend, lengthening out those muscles that you just really engaged. Beautiful. Now lower your arms and bring your prayer hands together in front of your heart. As you exhale, you're going to lift that right leg and reach for it with your fingertips. As you inhale, widen your arms back behind you and draw that right leg behind you. Exhale forward, rounding the back, reach for your toes. Inhale, you find a cow shape in your spine as that right leg comes back. Exhale, reach for it. Inhale, send the heart forward. One more time, exhale, reach for it. Beautiful. And inhale, take your leg back. All right, now we're gonna lower it and switch to the other side. Left hand to left ankle. And just straight up here, a nice long line to open the hips. Picture the light getting into the ribs. And with your exhalation, come all the way down onto your elbow, stacking the knees, left hand on your hip. As you inhale, press into the elbow, lift the heart. So we're kind of taking the sag or the flower sac out of the torso. And with the exhalation, lift the hips off the floor, add the left arm. Inhale to lower down, tap the floor with the hips, and exhale, come on up and squeeze like you're holding a book between your knees. Inhale down and exhale up for 4. And lower, exhale, lift, 3. And 2. And 1, holding yourself up there. Beautiful. And then release down. Come on up onto your right fingertips. Reach for the left ankle with the left hand and get a nice big side bend to the left. Excellent. Now, as you exhale, we'll take both arms and the left leg forward, reaching forward. As you inhale, take that left leg back behind you. Exhale, pull the toes in toward your nose. Inhale, reach back. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. We're going to come all the way up to our knees. Lengthen the right leg in line with the left knee. Come on down to the left hand. Float that right leg and just stretch it really nice and long. Lengthen the line of that whole side body. Can you flex out your lifted right leg? Excellent. And then lower the right toe down. Come all the way up. Side bend to the right. Maybe this time it's just one long straight line on the left side. The head releasing, but the left arm lengthening straight up the left knee. And then come on down. Taking the right arm along your cheek. This time we're going to take the right knee to the elbow. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold 5. Belly back. 4, 3. Engage in your core. 2, and 1. Lengthen it out. Rise all the way up onto that right toe, left knee, side bend. Beautiful. Arms open. We'll switch it up. Maybe you need a little bit more padding for your knees to complete your mat. Let's take the left leg long. Stretch the right arm up and just reach for the sky. Nice long line there. As you exhale, we'll come down onto the right hand. Lengthen the left arm along the cheek. Beautiful. Rise up onto the left foot, a little side bend, and down onto the right hand, lengthen it. Now for 5, we're going to pull elbow to knee and inhale to re-lengthen. Exhale in, inhale open, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it there. 5, belly back. 4, cat shape. 3, 2, and breathing. 1. Re-lengthen, lower it down, and rise up for a nice side bend. Excellent. Bring your hands back to your hips. Let's take one block outside your left foot. We'll put it on its highest setting. And we're going to take the right foot forward for a modified Ustrasana, camel pose. Let's start by bringing the knees together though. And imagine you're sliding your hands into your jeans pockets. So you're drawing your hands down and the widest part of your palm pushes at the widest part of your sacrum. And then we'll just look up. Push a lot with your hands. That's actually what your hips are leaning into as you look up. And then draw your belly back and rise up. Take the left foot forward. Now take the arms forward like a zombie and imagine that you need to hold little pieces of paper in your armpits. So we're going to try to keep the collarbones level here as we take the right hand back to this block behind you. When you get your hand on that block, you're going to notice that your left armpit is ahead of your right. Squeeze into that paper and try to square off your shoulders. From here, you can release the paper and lift your left arm by your ear. You're getting a nice big stretch in your right hip flexor. Opening up the front body from knee to right shoulder. Then lift the left arm overhead. Draw that paper back into your armpit. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot and glide it forward, lifting your toe up. We're just going to do a nice soft bend, sinking the left hip down, releasing the neck, wiggling your toes. You feel a dull ache, a stretch in the back of the left leg. Keep the knee unlocked. Just let that thigh drop down. One more breath. Knees together. Going into the second side, maybe you noticed you need a little padding for your knees. I did. Switch it up here. And this block is going to be outside the left foot. Let's bring the hands into your jeans pockets again to set up again. Slide the fingers down with the widest part of your hand, push into your butt, and then let yourself lean back, looking up. So you're really pushing with your palms to support your body here, opening your hips, opening your chest. Draw the belly back, rise up. Take the right foot forward. Once more, arms are like a zombie. Tuck some papers into your armpits. As you lower the right hand down to find the block, you're probably going to notice that your right shoulder is really forward. You're off square. Like you're squeezing that paper in your armpit, draw your right shoulder back even deeper. And that radiates right down to your hips, squaring them off. Now that they're square, take the right arm by your ear and open up. Breathe into that left hip flexor. One more breath. Take the right arm straight up to the sky, draw the armpit back into the shoulder, come down, rounding toward the floor. Slide the right heel forward and just gently bow, opening up your low back, dropping your hamstring down. Just a couple more breaths, head heavy. Nice cat shape as a counter pose for your spine. Beautiful. And bring the knees together. And come on down to your butt. Let's take one block under your knees and one block on top of it. Whatever height feels good. So you have options. You can come down and rest your sternum into the block, dropping your chin down, rounding your back to just release the spine, relax the legs. You could take the upper block below the rib cage, push down, and use that to draw the thighs back and support yourself. It actually does feel like a lot of support. It's below the rib cage. Or maybe you put the block on the floor and you bow into it. So it's yogi's choice. We'll take about 5 breaths here, just sinking in and dropping down. Letting the breath wipe clean that chalkboard of your brain. Allowing that watery breath to flow like a river, is continually clearing it. Like clouds moving in water, my distractions make me forget that I am clear. With your exhalation, draw your belly back and rise as if you're shrugging off a heavy coat. And lift your heart. Take the block out from behind your knees. Scoot your seat toward your heels. We're going to take 5 rolls, Pilates style. So if it's available to you, clasp your ankles. Exhale, rock to the back of your heart. Inhale, sit up. If that's not available, hold the front of your knees or behind the back of them. Exhaling back. Inhaling, sit up. Just a couple more times. Slowing down to feel the vertebrae. And then coming all the way down onto your back, knees in, head resting into the floor. And closing your eyes, relax your elbows against your sides. Feel the strong footprint of your back body. Becoming a sand print. And release your feet down. Spreading your toes wide. As you inhale, lift your arms overhead up by your ears. And feel the little bridge shape emerge in your spine, a slight lift in your kidney area. As you exhale, draw the low back to the floor and lower your hands along your sides. Now adding on, as you inhale, lifting your arms up by your ears, also lift your hips up so that you're making a bridge shape with your whole lower body from your shoulders to your knees and down to your feet. And with your exhalation, as your arms come up, slowly press each vertebrae of your spine down into the floor. So with those strong legs, and that open heart, let's just explore that mobility in the spine for a couple more breaths, lifting the hips up, taking the arms by your ear, squeezing into your seat. Exhale, pushing the vertebrae down into the floor. Last time, inhale, lift. Arms by ears. And exhale, slowly lower it all the way down. And take your knees back into your chest, holding them there. Now, studying your spine. And releasing your feet down. Let's roll off to the side for just a moment so that we can take both blocks for a supported pose before Shavasana. So we're going to use the blocks behind the heart, holding one between the elbows to just make sure that it's right behind the heart. And the other one will be on a taller setting behind the head. The space between the blocks is about the length of our neck. And then we'll open the arms wide and send the feet down, relaxing them, releasing into the support behind the heart. Breathing into your spaciousness, your essential clarity. Each breath, a wind that pushes clouds away. Opening that blue sky, that spacious beach of your body, spreading out beneath the sky. Feeling the light of the day through your skin. Feeling the unity of your being in alignment with the earth. The breath of your body like the wind, opening up this space. The muscles of your body flowing like water. Let the breath move like a curious animal, a fish, darting around or languidly lingering in the low spaces, in the dark places, drawing the light in, its reflectivity, silvery brightness, and curiosity. Just discovering what is there. From the Book of Time by Mary Oliver. I rose this morning early as usual and went to my desk. But it's spring, and the thrush is in the woods somewhere, in the twirled branches, and he's singing. And so now I'm standing by the open door, and now I'm stepping down onto the grass. I am touching a few leaves. I am noticing the way the yellow butterflies move together and a twinkling cloud over the field. And I'm thinking, maybe just looking and listening is the real work. Maybe the world without us is the real poem. And lifting your knees and letting them rest into each other. Exhaling into this body, a piece of the earth, belonging here. Rolling gently to your side like a rock, just rolling in that river of breath. And rising gently like the thrush, lifting his heart to the day. Nestle your sit bones down into this nest, this moment, this body. And drawing your hands together at your heart. Thank you for sharing this practice. Namaste.